Diego, California. This is the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans, by the fans. With Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, and Jason Eidsmoe. We're talking Chargers, Aztecs, and Padres sports. It's time to let your voice be heard. What's up, Charger fans? I'm pretty sure you guys are just as frustrated as the three of us are. Chargers go into Miami in what people were saying is a must-win game and lose 20-16. And really a game I thought we had to have because now, granted, we're only a game out of that number 6 wild card. We've lost the tiebreaker to Miami, to Tennessee, and now the Oakland Raiders, who we're tied with for last in the division.
Oh, man. It's funny. This week I decided I'm going to start taking notes during the game. All my defensive notes say missed tackles, missed opportunity. Yeah. Missed tackle, missed opportunity. They suck. Missed tackle, missed opportunity. I'm going to sound like a broken record here. I understand our defense coming into the season we thought was going to be the strong point has been the absolute weak point.
Been the Achilles heel.
But what they need to do, they could make up for all of this if they just played fundamentally sound and took advantage of their opportunities. Derek Cox, if he just caught balls that were thrown directly at him,
he's stupid.
He would make up for all the other stuff. Everybody's so down on him. I'm still waiting. I still think that he's gonna have a game. He's gonna turn it around. But my God, he's got to catch the ball when it's thrown to him. I know the very next throw, Johnny Patrick got an interception, but I don't know. I'm very frustrated.
He's a cocksucker.
Oh boy, I got 2 words: fire Norv.
Fire Norv.
I can't. It's hard to watch, dude. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I've never seen worse defense in my life. And we've had some pretty bad teams.
We've made RG3 look like an all-star. We've made all of these mediocre quarterbacks look like good quarterbacks. And I know that I said this before.
Stupid.
But I understand our defense. They're not the greatest. Be good at something.
Please.
Stop the long ball, play, or play tight, or blitz like crazy and get sacks, but give up the big play. We're not doing anything right.
We can't do crap.
If they want to throw the short pass, they throw the short pass. If they want to throw the long pass, they throw the long pass. If they want to throw the screen, they throw the screen. If they want to run the ball, they run the ball. There is nothing that we are doing. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
I'm glad you're going off. I don't have the energy to go off anymore on this team. I've wasted all my energy the past 3 weeks doing that.
I beg to differ. I think if we did a D-bag of the week right now, you would have no problem going off on the Chargers.
It would be Norv Turner.
One thing that we have really learned over the last few weeks is our offense. Okay, I'm going to start out by saying the same thing that I said before. Our offense is not the problem.
Really?
It is not the problem.
Settling for field goals is a problem.
However, here's the deal.
Settling for field goals is a problem.
That's coaching.
Our offense is not good enough to completely carry the team like we did against Dallas, like we did against the Eagles, where our defense came in, completely shit the bed, but our offense comes in and takes over and wins the game for us.
You know why that's happening?
Because of our offensive line.
Well,
that is why.
There's another reason. We're becoming predictable again.
But why are we becoming predictable? Because
well, no. Look, this has been a problem. We talked about this.
Because they love Danny Woodhead.
We can't. Yes, of course. I love Danny Woodhead too. But you can't use him every play.
The draw play.
We cannot stretch the field, people.
That is right.
We cannot stretch the field.
Why can't we stretch the field, though? Why can't we stretch the field?
Because Rivers can't pass over 30 yards.
Why can't he pass over 30 yards?
Because his arm is terrible.
That is not why.
I know. I'm kidding. But it seems like he underthrows all the long bombs. We can't get the running game going because the offensive line is terrible, just like you're trying to get to that point.
That's the point, is the fact that defenses are realizing that they can come up, they can creep up because everything we have to do is quick.
In the box, 9 in the box.
We've been exposed. Yes. We've been exposed, and if our defense was playing average we wouldn't be talking about our offense.
Tell me
right
one
now.
guy that the DBs have to double cover.
Nobody. And that's another thing.
Not even Gates right now.
Let me tell you something. Well, they are double covering Gates.
At times. Not all the time.
I'm on board with you right now. I'm very, very disappointed with Vincent Brown. I'm wondering,
Yeah.
I've been thinking this week, I'm wondering if this is not the offensive scheme that fits him.
No.
Maybe the type of offense
Norv
he needs
scheme.
is the Norv Turner offense, where
Yep.
the plays develop, where he can get vertical, because when you have to play real tight and you have to make decisions and you have to change your route depending on the coverage.
It's exposing
Stuff that
his
Keenan
weakness.
Allen seems to be excelling at.
Right.
Vincent Brown had 2 catches and they were both at the very end.
Yeah.
He disappeared.
He's a non-factor.
You know who had as many, if not more, catches than Vincent Brown?
Everybody.
Azura Tutu.
A Ladarius Green.
Ajero Tutu
came in after.
Ladarius Green had 2 big catches.
Ajero Tutu had 2 catches for more yards than Vincent Brown. Ryan Matthews.
Look at Ladarius Green numbers.
Yeah.
He's got more yards than Brown. I know that for a fact.
Another frustrating thing, guys, is we shot ourselves in the foot a few times.
We don't have any feet left.
We recovered and Jason was tweeting me or texting me during the show or during the game, but we recovered a fumble inside the 5-yard line, but it was negated because Corey Legit decided to rail the quarterback. I mean, the ball got let go, and then he takes a 2-step running head, friggin' bullhead down, and just runs the quarterback over.
Unfortunately,
And then he tries to cover it up by
15
acting like
yards.
he's going to pick up the quarterback. I'm
Personal
sorry.
foul
I'm
on
sorry
the
I just
defense.
ran you over.
Number
I'm sorry.
94 for the best hit of the year, but you're coming back.
When I saw that call, I'm going, I got to see the replay, because as a fan, I'm waiting to be able to complain about the shitty ref's call, and I had nothing, because it was a good call. He took 2 full steps. Now, when they interviewed him afterwards, he said he didn't realize that he didn't
He's
have the
an
ball
idiot,
still.
and
He
that's
thought he had
bullshit.
sacked the ball.
That
Well,
is bullshit.
He thought he had
That's
still
dumb.
the ball.
How do you think that when you're looking right at the quarterback?
I don't know.
That's a cop-out.
I don't know.
That's a BS remark, by the way.
One thing that you can say after the game was over, when they asked him, he said, "I had a terrible game."
You know what grinds my gears? You really know what grinds my gears?
Not
Kicking
pushing the
field
clutch in
goals.
all the time.
Kicking field goals.
Well, you know,
Kicking field
You know
goals
what's worse
on
than that?
4th and 1 again.
You know what's worse than that is missing field goals.
I love missing field goals.
Let me
I'd
tell
rather
you-
go for it on 4th down.
I'll tell you what, though.
Stupid.
People are complaining about McCoy
I'm not
because
complaining about...
he's settling for field goals.
Oh.
What my complaint is the fact that it's getting to 4th down and he has to make that decision. That's what my complaint.
You know why
is.
it's getting to that? Is because, like Justin said, we're becoming predictable.
We are.
And 22% of the time, and this isn't a stat, but I'm just making shit up right now. 22% of the time,
It works every
it's
time.
a draw play to Danny Woodhead.
Yeah.
And guess what? Everybody knows it's coming.
Hey,
as soon as they see Danny Woodhead standing
all
next to
of a
Rivers in the
sudden-
shotgun, they
All of a
tack the
sudden,
box.
it's a Norv Turner-esque offense where we are so predictable that, but it's a combination of things. It's the line, it's the running game, it's this and that. It's not stretching the field. It's miscommunications on easy, simple routes that get picked off again.
Absolutely.
With your receivers that you've been with
You know,
all flipping years.
I'm talking to a guy at work, who's a huge Charger fan, who I'm trying to get him to come on the show next Wednesday.
Darren, this is you he's talking about.
Come on, Darren.
I'll tell you what.
Step up your game.
Now I just say something, because I just lost what I was going to
Oh,
say.
well,
I can say something about Vincent Brown,
something.
and I forgot it now.
Something!
Well,
Vincent Brown is reminding me a lot of somebody else in the fact that it seems like every time that Rivers throws an interception, the ball was meant to be for Vincent Brown.
yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's Rivers' fault or if that's his fault or that's a combination, and maybe...
From what I gather, it's the receiver's fault.
It just seems that every ball that is intercepted is a ball that was meant to be that way.
And they seem like they're on routes that have alternate routes to them.
Yes.
He can predict what route and judge. The receiver judges on a split route where the coverage is. If Rivers thinks it's one side and Brown thinks it's the other, it's going to be up for grabs, midfield, and nobody's going to be around the football. And you've seen that twice now.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So the other issue is, in my opinion, is the poor execution of a 2-minute drill.
Right.
So the Chargers have a chance to win late. There's a minute 40 left on the clock, and we run a horrible 2-minute drill, leaving way too much time to run off the clock.
Let's not spike the ball.
Right.
Let's not do that, because that's not the smart move.
There's 38 seconds left. We're on the 25-yard line, and we let 15 seconds tick off because everybody's trying to figure out there's like an offensive line out where a receiver's supposed to be. The quarterback is back at the running back position. No one knows where they're going.
I got a 9-year vet not wanting to spike the ball.
You got to stop the clock.
Phillip Rivers should have taken control there and spiked the ball. I don't care what's going on, dude. You notice you just wasted 20 seconds.
4 to 5 plays that we lost by not managing the game.
And that was a great route, by the way, and great play call when they didn't spike the ball.
It was very frustrating. Definitely very frustrating. And that 2-minute drill reminded me of every single 2-minute drill we ran last year. Mm-hmm. That's how they all looked last year.
Like a Chinese fire drill.
It was very frustrating. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up that I have written down on here, we're going to head back to defense real quick. How many times were they gonna jump off sides before they figured out that he had changed the snap count? Yeah. I get the fact that they changed the snap count, and maybe you got to figure that out. But not only was it all the first half, but it was all the way through the third quarter. They didn't finally figure it out until the fourth quarter. That's disgusting.
That's inexcusable.
How many
your halftime adjustments there should be somewhere in there about the snap count, shouldn't there not?
You got to think. Well,
go.
You got to think.
The first throw, they're jumping off sides.
Hey defense. Okay. We cannot jump off sides. Wait until they hike the ball. Thanks.
I'm not on the sidelines, but I can damn near guarantee that that was being discussed.
It's unbelievable.
It's an execution problem. It's an execution problem. It's not. I don't believe that it's a coaching issue.
It's
an execution.
Right, because they're trying to be aggressive and they're trying to time the snap count. But
how many times can a crappy defense stop you when they keep getting 1st and 5?
I don't know if we see it differently because we're sitting on the couch watching the game. But he's going on the second go every time. Go. Then they hike the ball. And they're jumping on the first one. And I'm like, why do they keep doing that? He's doing the same thing every time.
Not only that, but we jumped a couple times and it didn't get called. If you notice, there were so many times that I thought that here comes the flag and we lucked out.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break.
From our rant.
When we come back, we're going to talk about a little positive that got lost in the shuffle, and that is Ryan Matthews.
Do you want everyone to know how diehard you really are? Do you want to stand out in a crowd? Well, us over at San Diego Sports Junkies, we got you covered. Go to sdforlife.net and pick up your diehard gear today. From shirts and hoodies to sneakers and canvas paintings, sdforlife.net has you covered. It's time for you to be Die Hard. Do you need help with your business project that is due? Maybe you need business cards to help your business stand out. We at San Diego Sports Junkies got you covered. SK Digital Imaging can do it all. Give our buddy Sean K a call, 858-408-0732. SK Digital Imaging, from business cards to the bigger projects, SK Digital Imaging and our buddy Sean K will get your printing done right.
All right, guys, we are back, and I want to dive into, again, what got lost in all the madness and anger that we possess is the fact that Ryan Matthews, again, had a monster game with 19 carries for 127 yards. This is, his fourth game, I think he's broken 100 yards. It's safe to say that Ryan Matthews is becoming a weapon.
Yeah, that's a good point. He... 19 attempts for 127 yards. I can almost make the point that he is still underused. Yeah. I think that they could have gotten him some more touches. One thing that I noticed, I know that we talked a little bit about them running Woodhead a little bit too much. Woodhead actually only had 5 carries for 21 yards. That wasn't that bad. I think the problem is when they get Woodhead in the game, the blitz, the way that they're blitzing, Woodhead doesn't have the opportunity to get out into the pattern anymore. He didn't have the opportunity to get out and catch the ball. Woodhead had 2 catches for 16 yards. he's being, I don't want to use the word underutilized because I certainly don't think they need to be running the ball with him any more than they already are. I think they need to use him as a surprise element, use Ryan Matthews more as your back. Woodhead comes in as the surprise, but when they have him in there on third down, for some reason, the way the blitzes are, he's not able to get out of the backfield and make plays. That's what he's here for, is to be making plays, and he's I don't know, he's stuck in the backfield picking up the blitz.
The offensive flow for the running game, I loved what Ryan Matt. Let me just first say that. Great game, that's awesome. Behind a crappy offensive line, terrible offensive line, they suck. They can't get the job done. But their run blocking's great, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they suck. I think that they're...
Well, I mean, they're to the point where what are you going to get every week? Right? They did a great job.
They're shuffling.
They did a great job opening up some holes for Ryan Matthews. He's running hard. He's doing great. I think the flow from the beginning of the year with Woodhead and Ryan Matthews, it's gone. If you're going to be predictable, I'm trying to be positive here. I'd like to see them use a little less Woodhead as well, especially with those delayed handoffs. They really upset me at times when they could be running the ball down the throats of the other team.
I'd like to see more I formation.
Of course, power running with Ryan Matthews, and I think he's doing a great job of getting through the hole, first line of sight, taking on that first defender, getting extra yardage after the contact. He's been doing a magnificent job of that. But I think the flow of the running backs has been disrupted. There's not an even flow anymore. At the beginning of the year, it was an awesome flow with Ronnie Brown, him, and Woodhead. Now it's become a little predictable, and we're showing our hand too much, and it's not. It's easy to see now, but I do like the running. I really do.
What do you think that if they maybe got Matthews more involved in the passing game?
I don't see why they wouldn't, and I don't know why they don't. They just throw to Woodhead. It's always Woodhead, Woodhead out of the backfield. I love Woodhead, but
maybe they got a little bit too stuck on what was working, and other teams are picking that up.
Why don't they use him as a single back, Matthews in the backfield, and line Woodhead up in the slot? Since our receivers aren't doing their jobs right now, I mean, they're a little on the shaky side. Why don't we line up Woodhead in the slot, get him open in space, and do what he does best?
That's not a bad idea.
Well, I don't get why they can't.
Here's another thought.
Tom Brady did it.
As far as size and stature, how would you compare Woodhead to, like, say, a Jacob Hester?
Not even close.
Yeah.
Do you think Jacob Hester's still more of a hammer?
Yeah.
More dependable in that? Because what I'm thinking is, what if you line them up in an I formation and you put Woodhead in front of Ryan Matthews? No. And then they got to decide who's going to be getting the ball. Maybe you split them out. You have one guy, you fake the handoff, and you have Woodhead run around the left-hand side and you ditch it off.
I mean, if you're talking about...
Just to give a little confusion.
No, I agree with you. You want to...
Mix it up a little.
Yeah, you want to twist up the play calling a little bit. But that, if you're planning on... Mr. Woodhead blocking for Mr. Matthews, that ain't going to work out very well.
I just think they need to do a little bit more. Matthews is in the game because when Woodhead comes into the game, you pretty much know what's going to happen. It's going to be a delay, or we're throwing the ball. That's it.
It's so predictable.
And when Matthews is in the game, it's pretty much going to be a run. That's bad props to Matthews because they know what's coming, and he's still
kudos to Matt. I mean,
getting his yards.
Man, he's been running like a horse, and we love that. But there's just hard to find the positives, and the flow is not there anymore. It's a flow that was there at the beginning of the year that looked awesome.
And the problem is the fact that overall the offense is not doing terrible. It's just we need them to do more because our defense is so bad.
Yeah.
Our offense isn't bad. We're complaining about it. We're complaining about our offense. Our offense isn't bad. It's just they have to do so much to make up for the defense right now.
Which is crazy because coming off the bye, we were talking how the defense is 10th in the league.
What a step back they've taken.
They've fallen tremendously in the last 3 games.
Even the Jacksonville Jaguars have Paul Plesnuski as a potential Pro Bowl player this year. Isn't he one of our team on the defensive side going to be a Pro Bowl player this year?
No.
Donald Butler's been out with injury. He could be, but he hasn't been in there.
No.
Name one guy.
Nobody's playing at a Pro Bowl level.
Even the Jaguars have a guy. Who's one? Name one guy. Even Weddle's getting beat.
I think what's hurting our defense, too, is the injuries. I think we've had so many injuries on that side of the ball as well, in the linebacker core.
Another thing is they talk about Derek Cox and everybody's down on him, which is fine. I like the fact that I don't care how much they paid him. If he's having a bad game, they bench him. They sit him down, but the next guy who comes in doesn't do any better. There is no difference. There's no difference.
Except for he intercepted the ball.
Well, but he was in on nickel. That was a little bit different.
That was just
he
lucky.
caught the ball.
That was great.
I don't know if it was
lucky play.
He made a fantastic play, whether it was luck or not. He came off his guy. He went and picked the ball.
When did you see him jump Peyton Manning's route and pick him off to the house? Not once.
That's another thing. We need to get an identity. Maybe our defense. I mean, if we're getting burned anyways, maybe we should start taking more chances.
Right.
At least maybe get a little bit of
reward.
Yeah. Because right now we're playing passive and we're giving up.
I'm starting to be on board with the Asamoah Ed Reed thing that we had suggested.
Ed Reed, terrible. Asamoah, I'm all
Ed
on board
Reed's
with
for the Jets.
Well, yeah,
Asamoah, we don't know.
Asamoah sucks.
Well, Asamoah
I mean, Ed Reed sucks.
He ain't going to come here anyway, but I'm almost like, bring it on. I'm tired of watching Derek Cox get beat up and down the field
Everybody,
like a mule.
Though. Sharice Wright, too. Sharice Wright, I was so high on him. I'm more disappointed with him, actually, than Derek Cox.
Dude,
I thought it was time for him to step up. And
we shot ourselves so many times, dude. We look like Lieutenant Dan on Forrest Gump.
We're back on the defense.
Oh, my God.
So,
man.
Since we're on the defense, Melvin Ingram, back at practice.
Great. Yeah, well, hey, that's an upside. I mean, I hope he gets in there and he's healthy and they don't rush him.
He's got 3 weeks, and if within 3 weeks they make the determination whether to add him to the roster or put him on IR.
We badly need him.
We certainly, I hear people talking about the pass rush. Although, I mean, of course it could be better. Everything could be better. I really think that the reason why our pass rush doesn't look that good is the fact that, the second the quarterback on the other team has the ball in his hands, there's somebody open. He has somebody to go to already. Yeah. Our pass rush isn't getting an opportunity.
Well, they get great hits on the quarterback after the quarterbacks release the ball.
Yeah. Well, we have to remember. We have to remember coming into the year, what we thought was going to be a good defense, right?
Yeah.
When you lose Dwight Freeney at the beginning of the year, like we did.
That
was the biggest loss of the year because he was the one guy that if you could bet your bottom dollar on to get a sack,
he's going to make a play.
He's at least going to graze the quarterback, make something happen.
Not only that, but they had to scheme against him so other players had an opportunity.
And that made the defensive line better, too. It was a domino effect. Once the injuries started happening, it was all over but the crying, dude.
So, Kansas City is next on the agenda. In Kansas City.
That's a loss.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, as everything we're talking about, this team is one play away every single game from winning.
Two plays the other way because they can't.
We have a good enough team to win this game. Now, let me tell you, Kansas City's offense is licking their chops.
Make your point, because I don't agree.
Kansas City's offense is horrible.
Jason, you make your point.
My point is the fact that our team is going to win this game.
Really?
I really think we're going to go into Kansas City and win this game.
No, we are not, because on 4th and 1, we are going to kick a field goal. Because that's what we do on the road against good opponents.
It's not going to get to 4th and 1.
That's what we do. This team cannot get the job done.
It is.
This team is shooting itself in the foot and in the legs and every extremity that we have. This team is awful. Alex Smith is going to look like a Pro Bowl quarterback.
That's what I am a little bit afraid of.
Alex Smith is going to throw for 450 yards this week, Jason. Come on, man. Dwayne Bowe's going to have 4 touchdowns in the first half. This is no way we get Are you kidding me?
I have a hard time arguing with everything you're saying.
Kansas City is the loudest stadium in the NFL. We're going to win this game. What are you smoking right now? Oh my God! That's the most asinine thing I've heard all week.
Should have been D-bag of the week, and it would have went off like this.
Crazy talk you're talking over there.
27-13. Chargers are going to win.
What? Yeah, we're going to score 13 with that field goal we decided to kick. On 4th and 1 on the 10.
27-13.
What the flip is going on?
Write it down.
Talk right now. This is awful.
No.
I'm telling you, it turns around. It turns around this week.
What turns around? Derek Cox again?
Yep.
For 6 down the sideline?
It turns around. I'm telling you, it turns around.
I'm so sick of this team, man. Gosh, play better.
Are you frustrated?
I don't want to watch this team anymore. God. Show 4 fans buy the diehards and are pissed off. And I'm just a fan like everybody else, man. I'm just mad. Sorry.
That's what we're all about, man.
You bring up these points, I just don't see it, Jay. I really don't.
To a point, we share your frustration. I mean,
it is.
We've had so many close games this year, so many games that we should have won, so many games that we could have won, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, we didn't. We're in this position. It is now or never. If we have a say-so in the playoffs, we're talking about playoffs?
I was just about to go into a playoff rant.
If we're talking about playoffs,
don't even say
our backs are dead up against the wall. There's no further room to go back. We've lost the tiebreaker to 3 different teams. We pretty much have to win out from here, maybe lose 1 game, but there's no losing from here on out. We have to practically win out.
Really?
If we're going to have an opportunity.
I see like 3 losses. I see the Broncos. I see the Chiefs twice. That's 3 right there. You're out. Come on, dude, guys. Let's be realistic with this football team. We're in the conversation of the playoffs. I want to be positive as hell. Hold on. Let's mark that. We are in the conversation. Oh, they have the little in the hunt column.
Yeah.
Our little bolt is right there at the
Remember,
bottom.
27
right
minutes
behind
in.
the Oakland Raiders is where our name is. Give me a break. I think we'll beat the Giants at home. That's fine. I think we can beat the Bengals. I really do. You're not going to go to KC and get a win. You're not going to go to Denver and get a win.
You don't think we can?
No.
No, I understand the fact that
I don't.
They're making mistakes but you really don't think that they have a good enough team to win those games?
Not when you're giving up a 2-yard screen pass for 55 yards and you can't tackle a person.
Right. I understand the tackling sucked
all year.
All that. What I'm asking you though is you don't think that we have a chance to win these games?
I think we have the offense to keep up with them. But as we pointed out earlier, offensive line is not playing great. Running game is suspect because of the mixture and flow, but we are running the ball well. But you know what I mean? Decisions by the coach aren't great, I don't think.
I'll tell you what. Our team, you can look at it like Jacksonville. If Jacksonville was going into Denver, the only way they're going to win is if they play a perfect game and Denver makes mistakes.
Yes. And that's very much possible.
We don't need that. We have a better team than that. If we play mistake-free football, we have a good enough team to beat every team in the NFL.
Right, but we've shown that we've been inconsistent.
We just haven't been able to do that.
Sound
You're right.
In our games.
We are not able to do that. We keep making that big mistake that loses the game. I'm saying is...
I think a difference last week, don't mean to cut you off, is just tackling.
Yeah, it was
just tackling.
Brutal.
No,
it was brutal.
And am I wrong, guys?
We've had 2...
If they just made some tackles...
Absolutely.
2 games in a row now that we have not been able to make tackles.
Yes. And those are the difference in wins and losses.
All I can see is Chris Berman previewing the game after the fact.
Whoop! Yeah. Yep. Whoop!
And I gathered today in an interview, they had the Chiefs beat writer on. It's going to be very, very, very cold in Kansas City this week. So that doesn't help the Chargers either, because you know how they play in cold weather games.
Right. So they haven't been playing really good in warm weather games.
I'm just stacking the chips this high and saying, all right, guys, I'm going all in here. If you want to make me a believer and have me a little ounce of the playoffs this year and give me some faith,
got to win this week.
Go ahead, win the game, because this is a must-win game.
Right.
If you don't win this game, we're not talking playoffs at all this year. We're in the hunt with the Bolts.
I'll make a deal with you right now.
We shouldn't be talking playoffs anyways until...
I'll make a deal with you right now because I'm going to ride this as long as I can.
Okay.
If we lose this game, I will not mention playoffs the rest of the year.
Well, you wouldn't have any reason to.
I will not mention playoffs, even if we somehow get back into the hunt and we're a game out. I will not say it until we are in the playoffs.
I don't want to hear playoffs. I don't need a Jim Mora up there,
but to this point, I'm still on that.
I'm not trying to be the Debbie. I mean, I am being very, very negative. And I'm as big a fan as you guys are, but I'm trying to put things in very realistic perspective right now.
Right.
This team is not a very good football team, guys. We really have to accept that. We're not a good football team.
They teased us by playing good for a little bit. And
but look what you did. It's They almost beat the Texans. They almost beat Miami. They almost beat Washington. They almost beat Oakland. They almost beat. It's like I'm getting tired of saying that.
We watched them.
Stop it.
We watched them beat the Colts, who everybody thought was one of the greatest teams in the league.
Yes.
We watched them beat the Cowboys.
You go boom.
And so we all thought
4-3 at the break. You're like, yes.
It reminds me of when you're bowling and you're bowling a crappy game.
Yeah.
And then you finish the game with 3 strikes.
Yeah.
And you say, I got it.
Yeah.
Next game,
and
let's
you did
go.
Good. Yeah.
And then you shit the bed the next game. And you don't understand how that happened.
Right. So you know what that is? That's the Chargers, because right now they're struggling. In December, they're going to knock off 3 games, and we're going to say, where was this friggin' 5 weeks ago?
Unfortunately, we might have bowled our 3 strikes right before the bye.
Now, it's not out of the realm. The Chargers are historically good at making good runs in December and November. So, November, December.
Right.
So, it's not out of the realm to play good football. Like you guys said, you play fundamentally sound. You make some damn tackles on defense.
The thing out there is the games that we lose, except even the Raider game, I don't ever, when the game's over, except, I take that back. Denver beat us. Even though we had the opportunity in that game, when that game was over, I said, well, what are you going to do? They have a better team, and they just beat us. That's the only game this whole year that I didn't feel like we lost.
And here's another thing. If we're looking for something to hang our hat on, this is the game, guys.
Oh, okay.
This is the game. They're 9-1. I don't care if they're the weakest 9-1 in NFL history.
They're 9-1.
They're 9-1. They're in our division. We're in their house. If we go in and we pull this game out of our you-know-what,
well, if
that could be a turning point. That could be the positive.
If you get to 5-6 in a weak playoff race, I agree with you. I agree that it could spark some momentum in this team. I really do. But do they have what it takes to go into a hostile environment and get a crucial win on the road? Do they have what it takes? That's the question.
They haven't showed that they do, but let's hope that they turn it around.
They can't even go on the road and beat Miami.
I know.
Or Washington when you have it on the 1 foot yard line.
I know.
I know. And that's what's... Jeez. Just 2 of those games.
And for the aspect of your ranting, I'm going to eliminate the fact that we're going to predict anything this week. Because I think the fans have heard enough ranting.
Right. I already made my prediction anyways.
Oh, whatever.
47-3.
Guys, as always, thank you for joining in on the show. Wow.
What? Dude, we're going to go for the field goal. I told you. We're going to get that 3 points.
So let's all hope that Justin
eats crow.
Yes.
I would be, and that's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm going to bring
the first one to swallow my pride.
I'm going to go buy a cake that's shaped like a crow so you can eat it during the next game, next show that we do.
Commend your effort.
Guys, thanks again for joining in the show. As always, keep tweeting us away, sending us emails. We'll, break down your questions during the show. We appreciate you guys' insight and information. This is what it's all about, guys.
Well, being passionate is, I think.
You are passionate.
Well, I just want to apologize for the ranting, but I mean, I don't mean to sound like a damn negative Nancy.
You're frustrated.
I try to be realistic. In my years of being a Charger fan, my grandpa always taught me to really just look at the whole picture. Don't go with your heart all the time. But talk with your head a little bit. Make sure you make smart decisions, and when you're saying stuff, I just don't think it's a very good football team, and then we expressed all that.
And you know what? This show isn't about that. We're not the typical guys on 1090 and 1360 that are scripted. We speak with our hearts.
Right.
We're diehard fans. That's what we're about.
Yeah. So friendly talk. It's just bullshitting with you guys too. So
absolutely, guys. Again, thank you for joining the show. This is the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans
by the fans.
We are out.
Thank you for following the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans. With Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, and Jason Eidsmo, we want you to subscribe to us on iTunes, follow us on Spreaker, and like us on Facebook. Also visit our website, SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com. This is brought to you by SK Digital Imaging and SDforlife.net. San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans.